So without further ado, please give a warm welcome to our Danish friends, Mai, Birte, Anthrodor, Sina and Matthias.
We are going to present the project we have been working on the last 6 weeks.
We have heard here in Sydney you say, let's meet on town hall steps. That's going to change. In the future you'll say, let's meet under the steps. And that's here.
You come around the quay and you see the bridge and you see the city, and then you come around and see this magnificent building and you know exactly what it looks like, but it's still, you can't help but smiling.
MADE by the Opera House stands for Multidisciplinary Australian Danish Exchange. It's an extracurricular program offered to Australian and Danish students of architecture, engineering and design. Each year until 2023, 5 students from Australia and 5 students from Denmark will form a multidisciplinary team, travelling to Denmark and Australia respectively. They will work on a 6-week collaborative project aligned with the Utzon design principles. This is the 4th of 20 MADE programs and the 2nd Danish student team to be arriving in Australia. The 2016 Australian Project Brief presents the opportunity to transform the Opera House's vehicle concourse into a vibrant destination called Under the Steps, a pedestrian-oriented space enhancing the overall visitor experience at the Opera House.
It's day 1 of the Made by the Opera House program in Sydney. It's very windy today and the students are just out and about going and taking in their first impressions.
A house you have seen so many times on picture can look so differently when you see it in real life and surprise you. It's really beautiful. When I read about the program, I thought it was made for me. One of my first memories is actually from the opera. I saw the magic flute when I was 3 years old. And ever since, music has been such a big part of my life.
This is like one of the most iconic buildings in the entire world, and we get a say in like the design of its future. That's surreal. I haven't really realized yet how huge this is.
To build great, beautiful, long-lasting and functional tectonic buildings, collaborating early in the design phase. So this was the perfect project for me.
The architectural and engineering feature of this space is its ceiling of structural ribs, elegantly shaped to express the forces and harmony within the structure.
I think the beams lead you to this entrance and to the light and up the stairs, and I think it's a great entrance to the building.
I see some problems regarding the light conditions and especially the microclimate.
It's very dark when you see it from outside in here.
Really cold and windy, and it doesn't feel like a place you're supposed to be. Also, there's always a guard in a yellow vest standing there, and a man in a yellow vest always just, I'm afraid that I'm not supposed to be there, so it's not very welcoming.
And it's not only an arrival and protective shelter for pedestrians, but also heavily used for deliveries, bump-ins and transport.
Photographed times. And you just got to look at the harmony.
Here at the host firm Arup's office, and it's the end of week 1 and the students have had a very busy week just gathering a lot of information.
If we want to satisfy all the different stakeholders, it'll be quite hard and we'll make a lot of compromises.
I don't think they are in conflict, but I think all of them want something, and we have to like collect all of it and maybe find our way through.
Trying to maneuver in that sort of, I don't know if you could say political mess. I think that's going to be difficult, really trying to stay focused on what we want to do.
This year, the students were based at Arup with collaborative mentorship by a range of leading Sydney architects, engineers and designers to deliver their final proposal.
So we started out defining some needs from our research and combining them with all the users. It's a great opportunity for me to work with people who actually know stuff about cities and urban planning and stuff like that.
We came up with these 4 things that we want to apply to the project. So simple, holistic, respectful and intimate.
So there's a lot of lovely things about the method that you're using. Is it something that you're familiar with? Is this half of the course in Denmark? Is it just how everyone does it? Or are there new elements?
I don't know about Australia, but in Denmark everyone talks about this multidisciplinary, getting the engineers and architects together from day one, and everyone's talking about it and no one is really doing it. So that's been really, really nice to sort of experience.
We are all very different people from different parts of the built environment. So the first part will just be how to understand each other and how we work and each other's fields.
So far we're doing great, living all together. But I think when we start working, we'll see some other sides of how we actually interact.
When we hit the first wall, what will we do then? That will be exciting.
We're almost at the end of week 4 and tensions are getting high. We're running out of time.
So is it space defining or is it space enclosing?
We are saying the same things but in different languages, and then we see, oh, we are actually saying the same thing.
That's also the challenge.
Yeah.
That actually we agree on a lot, but then we start discussing because we have different languages.
Because well, we have to work together, so it's important, but we also have to live together. So we need to make it work.
Yeah.
So to just try and
To
say,
be
okay,
aware.
when I'm tired, I might seem really angry, but I'm not.
But it's really very difficult to create something that is practical and functional and where people want to be.
Right now, as you see, people coming out the venue. You see how they are directed just on the path here. And as we see, you only stay on the granite here and limited to the side of the wall, the side of the room.
Welcome everyone to this wonderful celebration of May. My name is Louise Heron and I'm the CEO of the Opera House.
We would like to show you a short film.
The research phase we also used a lot of time actually to understand each other and understand each other's ways of working.
When we sat down and sort of said, okay, this is what we want to do, the 5 of us all agree, we looked at those 4 words and went, that's very Scandinavian. Maybe an Australian team would have found some other values. Who knows?
I think all of us agree that working in a group is a really big part of studying in Denmark.
Sydney Opera House represents creativity in architectural form, engineering design and technological innovation. Jørn Utsen's original design concept gave impetus to a collective creativity.
Being able to show what you can do and inspire others, but also get inspired and learn something.
Made by the Opera House was designed to continue this multidisciplinary collaboration.
When our project is possibly implemented, or some of the ideas are implemented, we'll see people not just going out, but staying in the room. So it's a nice room to stay in instead of leaving right away.
Redefining the question was a big part of our process and our research, and that made our mentors a bit worried in the beginning.
So at the last day of the MADE program in Australia 2015, and this is actually the first time the Australian winners for 2016 and the Danish winners from 2015 are meeting.
When the Opera House celebrates its 50th anniversary in 2023, MADE will have created a living legacy of 100 alumni with a deeper understanding of contemporary international practice across disciplines and hemispheres, and who will continue that cross-disciplinary Danish-Australian legacy into the future. MADE deepens the profound cultural connections between Australia and Denmark that began with Jørn Utsen. The Utsen Design Principles is a permanent reference for the conservation of the building and its setting, and is the primary guiding document for the entire MADE program.
Utzon never thought of the building as finished, and we are actually allowed to touch it and change it. Utzon knew that it was a place that would be changed during the coming years.
Honouring Utzon's design principles is to honour the Opera House's standing as one of the world's preeminent works of architecture and performing arts venues, to conserve and renew the building for future generations of artists, audiences and visitors.
And there's a lot of heritage and taking care of actually keeping this as a symbol of Australian Sydney.
MADE demonstrates that the Opera House's story of collaboration and innovation is still going strong.
M-A-D-E. MADE.